Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place where we tackle the really complex stuff. Could be global strategy, could be like today, just pure, unadulterated soap opera chaos.
Yeah.
And we pull out what you actually need to know. So today we are diving headfirst into, honestly, maybe the wildest 2 weeks unfolding in the first half of September 2025.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
I've got the spoilers, the transcripts. It's all detailing this massive emotional fallout, really centered around two huge conflicts happening at the same time. So our mission here is analytical, right? We're taking all this fast-moving drama, the lies, the betrayals, the promises people aren't keeping, and we're breaking it down. What are these characters really risking? And, like, what happens next because of what they're doing right now? Okay, let's get into it.
It's great material, not just, for the drama itself, but for really looking at why these characters do what they do. We're talking character consistency, or maybe more accurately, this deep, paralyzing inconsistency, especially with Ridge.
Yeah.
And then there's the sheer force of family influence, everyone trying to pull strings, and, of course, the massive fallout when secrets that have been kept for ages finally explode.
Yeah.
We're zoning in on these 2 weeks because it feels like everything's coming to a head, all the emotional debt Ridge owes, all the ambition Luna's been nursing. It's all happening now.
Uh-huh.
And for you, the listener, it's really useful to see the parallels and the differences, too, between these, high-stakes manipulations playing out.
Okay, let's jump right into the main Forrester event. Wednesday, September 3rd. The whole Ridgebrook Taylor situation just gets completely upended. Why? Thomas is back. Suddenly.
And it's not just that he's back, it's how he comes back. He walks right in and sees, well, the visual proof of what he feared most. Ridge and Brooke caught in an embrace.
Oof.
Yeah. The sources nail the description. They jump apart looking very guilty. I mean, that single image, that's the whole story right there, isn't it? Ridge caught, confirming Thomas's worst fears about his dad betraying Taylor again.
And Thomas, well, he's never been one to beat around the bush, has he?
Not at all. Zero subtlety. He goes straight to Ridge. And the demand is sharp, immediate. Is the wedding to Taylor still on?
Wow. Just like that.
Exactly. This isn't him casually asking how things are. This is Thomas, right there, demanding Ridge commit to Taylor on the spot or basically admit he's lying.
So the dilemma for Ridge in that exact moment is
Yeah.
huge. The sources really emphasize this.
Monumental. Because if Ridge doesn't end the engagement right then and there, if he doesn't tell Thomas the truth about Brooke, he's flat out lying to his son's face.
But why can't he just, come clean? That's the big question the analysis raises. He made that promise to Brooke in Italy, right? That they'd be together.
He did. That's the core of it. Why, when Thomas confronts him, does he just freeze? Or worse, choose the lie, choose the delay? It's instant reversion to indecision.
I think it gets back to that idea you mentioned, paralysis by obligation. He feels obligated to everyone.
Exactly. Telling Thomas the truth, yes, I'm choosing Brooke, means admitting he's about to destroy Taylor's world. Again. And that directly breaks a really specific, serious promise he made to Thomas and Steffi.
Oh, right. He promised them he wouldn't hurt their mom like this again.
He absolutely did. So Ridge defaults to avoidance. It's not necessarily that he wants to hurt everyone, it's that he wants to avoid the immediate conflict. He hopes it'll just go away. Or maybe someone else will deliver the bad news for him.
Classic Ridge.
It is. He delays because, in his mind, maybe delay feels like control somehow, like he's managing Brooke's hopes and Taylor's expectations and his kids' demands. But really, it's just winding the spring tighter for a bigger explosion later. The sources call it cowardice, and honestly, analytically, it fits. He fears the confrontation more than the long-term damage.
Okay, so that confrontation wasn't just Ridge and Thomas. Still, on Wednesday, Thomas turns his attention to Brooke.
Yep.
Right after Ridge, he goes to Brooke. And significantly, Katie Logan is right there. She sees the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which makes it less of a private chat and more of a, public shot across the bow.
A declaration of war, basically.
Pretty much. Thomas is playing mind games here. He wants to assert dominance, make it crystal clear Brooke is the enemy he needs to neutralize. His message is pure aggression. His parents are getting remarried, and she better not get in the way.
And Brooke's reaction. The sources say a death glare, which, fair enough.
Totally understandable. She's furious that Thomas, her stepson, thinks he can dictate her life, her relationship with Ridge. But the sources also bring up an interesting alternative, a potentially more benign response she could have given.
Oh, what's that?
Something like, it's not up to you who Ridge marries. It's up to Ridge. It's smart, right? because it lets Brooke stand her ground, refuse to be bullied by Thomas, but without actually lying or confirming anything herself. She doesn't give him the satisfaction of knowing he got under her skin. But that's not what happened. Inside, she's definitely rattled. Because once Thomas is gone, she apparently falls apart talking to Katie.
Completely. The inner turmoil is real. She's holding on to that promise from Italy like a lifeline, the promise that Ridge will come back to her. But she tells Katie she's terrified. Thomas being back gives Ridge the perfect excuse to just delay, breaking things off with Taylor. She sees Thomas as the roadblock.
And this is where Brooke realizes maybe waiting for Ridge isn't going to cut it.
Exactly. She sees Ridge as just too weak, too caught in the middle to actually do what he promised her, which leads directly to Katie stepping in with some, well, the sources call it radical advice, and they're not wrong.
Okay, what does Katie suggest?
Katie tells Brooke, forget Ridge, forget waiting for him to handle it. Brooke needs to go tell Taylor the truth herself, the truth bomb, as the spoilers call it.
Wow. Just bypass him entirely.
Entirely. Katie's basically reminding Brooke, look, he promised you in Italy, he promised you'd be together, but he's chickened out. She knows Ridge won't do the necessary, painful, dirty work.
So Katie's pushing Brooke to take control.
Take control of the narrative. Stop being the passive victim of Ridge's waffling and force the issue. Make it happen.
That's a huge power move.
Yeah.
It means Brooke stops waiting, becomes the agent of change.
Yeah.
But, oh boy, that also makes her the absolute villain in Thomas and Steffi's eyes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No matter what Ridge promised.
Absolutely. That's the complexity. Think about the ethics here. Is Brooke justified in telling Taylor, knowing Ridge won't? Analytically, you could argue yes, she's protecting herself from being strung along indefinitely. But the way Taylor finds out, hearing it from Brooke, her rival, instead of her fiancé, that's exponentially more devastating. It's calculated, almost cruel, even if Brooke feels forced into it. That's soap opera conflict for you. Maximum pain.
Okay, so let's shift to Thursday, September 4th. Because now it's not just about Ridge's internal conflict. It becomes this all-out war for influence over him. Everyone in his life is pulling.
Everyone. And the sources highlight this amazing piece of hypocrisy, this real dramatic irony involving Eric.
Oh yeah, Eric Forrester steps in. He knows Thomas being back is trouble.
Right. So his first piece of advice to Ridge sounds pretty good, actually. He says, don't let Thomas or Steffi Forrester influence your decision. He's telling Ridge to think for himself, right? Stand on his own 2 feet.
Sounds like solid advice for Ridge.
But then, almost in the same breath, Eric completely contradicts himself by harping on Ridge about how Brooke is the one.
Wait, what?
Exactly. The double standard is just, wow. He tells Ridge, don't listen to your kids defending their mom, only to immediately push him hard towards Brooke, saying, listen to me, your dad, instead.
So ignore one side of the family's influence, but definitely soak up my influence.
Precisely. It perfectly illustrates the toxic dynamic. Nobody, not even Eric, actually trusts Ridge to make his own choice. It just proves Ridge is pulled from every single angle, and confirms, the analysis that he's made such a mess because he has no firm ground, no core commitment himself.
But it's not just Eric and the Logan side pulling him. Taylor feels the shift too, doesn't she? She amps up the pressure on Thursday.
Oh, absolutely. Taylor's operating out of pure anxiety now. She sees Thomas's back. She probably senses Ridge wavering, and she knows Brooke is a true threat. So what does she do?
She wants to lock it down.
Exactly. She pushes Ridge hard to set an ASAP wedding date. She needs that wedding band on her finger, like now. Physical proof, legal proof. She knows that as long as it's just an engagement, Brooke still has a chance to blow it all up.
So just picture Ridge on that Thursday. He's got Brooke expecting to dump Taylor, Taylor demanding a wedding date now, Eric telling him Brooke's the one, Thomas demanding he stick with Taylor. Steffi's probably weighing in too.
It's an emotional pressure cooker. The sources say he's just going to explode, and you can see why this whole showdown has been brewing for years, hasn't it? All because he just won't ever pick somebody and be loyal.
His avoidance creates so much damage.
Collateral damage everywhere. Because he can't commit honestly to one, he ends up hurting both. It's like this emotional debt he keeps trying to ignore, and now all his creditors are demanding payment at the exact same time. That pressure is going to crack things wide open.
Okay, so Friday, September 5th. We see some fallout from this pressure. Thomas has a chat with Eric about Ridge, Brooke, Taylor, the whole mess.
Right. Thomas is obviously making the case for his mom, trying to shore up support for Taylor, maybe neutralize Eric's influence a bit.
And how does Eric react after that?
Well, according to the sources, Eric actually starts to get a little worried. He becomes skeptical. He genuinely starts to fear that Thomas and Steffi might actually succeed in convincing Ridge to stay with Taylor.
So Eric realizes his own pushing might not be enough against the kid's emotional pull.
Exactly. He sees the power of that promise Ridge made to his children. The promise not to break Taylor's heart again.
Which connects right back to the core lie, doesn't it?
Mm.
Ridge promised his kids one thing, promised Brooke another.
And Eric sees Ridge as fully about to break that promise to his kids and Taylor in order to keep the promise to Brooke. He's trapped himself completely.
That's the knot tightening. So Ridge is still stuck between them on Friday. Eric's words pushing him to Brooke, the memory of his promise to his kids pulling him back to Taylor.
Total paralysis, which, naturally, sets the stage for the one thing that can force his hand.
Brooke's ultimatum.
Brooke's ultimatum. It happens this week. She lays it on the line. He gets one last chance if he won't tell Taylor the truth.
She will. She's going to spill the beans.
It feels like the absolute point of no return is here. But the real cliffhanger, the sources suggest, is how she delivers it. Does she tell Ridge first, like, I'm warning you, if you don't do this by X date, I am going to Taylor, giving him that one last chance to do it himself?
Or does she just give the ultimatum, wait for him to inevitably fail, and then just show up at Taylor's door, making the reveal itself a kind of punishment for his inaction?
Either way, the fuse is lit. Tick-tock. Brooke has the information, and she finally has the intent to use it because she knows Ridge won't act. It's a massive power shift. Brooke goes from waiting passively to being the one driving the action.
It had to happen, didn't it?
You can't wait forever for someone stuck in neutral. You eventually have to hit the gas yourself.
Okay. So while that bomb is ticking in the Forrester world, we need to pivot. Because there's a whole other crisis blowing up simultaneously, driven by something very different. Not indecision, but cold, hard calculation.
Right.
So while Ridge, Brooke, and Taylor are tangled in decades of baggage, the week of September 8th to 12th throws a spotlight onto the next generation. And it's a different kind of ugly. We're talking Luna and Will Spencer.
Yeah, the storyline shifts gears dramatically. We move from Ridge's emotional paralysis to Luna's very strategic deceit. The sources are blunt. She is very determined to baby trap Will.
And the key phrase there is determined, right? Like, this is a plan.
It's absolutely a plan. And what's crucial is the implication that she's determined to go through with it, whether she's actually pregnant or not, or perhaps regardless of who the father might be. Her ambition, her goal seems to be the driving force more than any, actual feelings.
But there's evidence this week, isn't there?
Yeah.
About the pregnancy test.
Yes, this is huge. Luna takes a pregnancy test, and the source specifically notes she has a smirky little smile on her face.
That smirk says a lot.
It really does. It's this little psychological detail that suggests she got the results she needed. A positive test. Which could mean she's genuinely pregnant with Will's child. That's the most straightforward interpretation.
There's always a but in these situations.
There is. We have to dig into the paternity question because this is where it gets really messy and potentially dangerous for Will. Okay, so Luna was recovering after being shot. The general assumption, and likely the story Luna will push, is that Will is the father from their encounter.
Makes sense.
But the source material explicitly reminds us she's also close to Remy Price.
So the door is open.
The door is wide open to the possibility that the baby isn't Will's. Could she try to pass off Remy's baby as a Spencer heir?
Given her goal seems to be latching on to Will's status and wealth.
Exactly. Her motivation isn't about having Will's baby specifically. It's about securing the Spencer connection. If the baby happens to be Remy's, well, that just means the level of deception required goes way up. It shifts from maybe opportunistic to full-blown long-term fraud. And honestly, given how determined she seems, that level of deception feels entirely possible if the truth is inconvenient for her plan.
Okay, so Luna's plotting, maybe smirking about her positive test. What about Will? How's he handling this?
Will is basically falling apart. While Luna's coolly executing her plan, he's spiraling. He's getting more and more worried about this mystery woman he slept with. He knows he messed up badly, and the dread of what's coming is starting to really get to him.
He knows something's coming because texts.
Yeah, he's expected to get more texts from Luna soon, escalating things. And the sources speculate about the absolute horror scenario for Will.
Which is?
Luna sending him a photo of the positive pregnancy test.
Oh, man.
Right, can you imagine that instant visual proof hitting his phone? Talk about scaring the pee out of him, is how the source puts it. And yeah, that sounds about right. That would push Will from just worrying into sheer panic mode. His life could change forever, and he knows it. He can't just delay dealing with this like Ridge tries to. The stakes feel much more immediate, much more concrete.
And eventually he's going to have to tell Electra Forrester, isn't he? The girlfriend.
He is, and his explanation, his defense, it's going to be incredibly weak. The sources mention his likely excuse is something like, my mom told me to keep this secret.
That's not going to fly.
Not even close. It's a terrible excuse for betraying Electra so profoundly, because Electra is the real immediate victim here, isn't she?
Absolutely. How is she going to react?
She is going to be absolutely horrified, and you can't blame her. Think about the layers of betrayal here. It's not just that he cheated. It's that he slept with her, took her virginity, after he had already slept unprotected with Luna, a total stranger at the time.
He knew. He knew this whole potential disaster was lurking, as the source says, when he got involved with Electra.
Exactly. And he kept that massive secret. A secret that could even have health implications, besides the emotional devastation. That's a fundamental violation of trust.
So could Electra dump him over this?
The sources strongly suggest it's possible. And honestly, it feels justified, doesn't it? His recklessness, combined with the deliberate cover-up, it makes him seem completely untrustworthy, regardless of whatever Luna's scheming.
Yeah, is anyone seeing through Luna's act?
Yes. One person.
Leigh Finnegan.
Finn's mom. Luna's grandmother, technically.
Right. And Lee is deeply suspicious. She doesn't trust Luna's excuses for her absences, doesn't trust her story. Lee seems determined to figure out what her granddaughter's plotting. It feels like it comes from a place of deep protective instinct, maybe mixed with past trauma related to Luna.
To the point where she might actually follow her. The sources suggest exactly that. Lee might tail Luna because her suspicion is so strong. She's not just going to listen to Luna's story, she wants hard evidence. She's going to investigator mode.
And this ties into the whole complicated family situation with Luna wanting a relationship with Finn, her dad.
It's all tangled together. Luna is pushing for this future with Will, and she's pushing for a relationship with Finn. But Lee is dead set against the Finn connection. Her stance is dramatic, almost visceral. She actually says to Luna, "You can't do this, you're supposed to be dead."
Whoa, supposed to be dead. That's intense.
It tells you everything about Lee's mindset, doesn't it? Lee went through the grief of losing Luna, believing she was dead, and now Luna's back, and Lee sees her not as a cherished granddaughter return, but as this destructive force. It explains why Lee is so fiercely opposed to Luna manipulating her way into the family, especially via Finn.
So when Taylor tries to suggest grief counseling for Lee,
Lee completely rejects it. The source quotes Lee, implying her only regrets right now might be saving her life. Luna's life.
she regrets saving her.
Yeah,
That's chilling.
It's an incredible statement. It suggests Lee views Luna as such a profound threat that she almost wishes she hadn't survived whatever happened before. And that is fueling Lee's drive now. She sees herself as the firewall, the one person who has to stop Luna before she ruins everything, for Finn, for Will, for everyone.
So we've got Ridge's story driven by indecision, external pressure,
Yeah.
broken promises.
Yep. Emotional paralysis leading to chaos.
And then Luna's story driven by calculated ambition, a desperate plan, potential fraud.
Intentional strategic action leading to chaos. It's a fascinating contrast, two different paths to blowing up lives.
Okay, so while those two main conflicts are absolutely raging towards some kind of explosion during the week of September 8th to the 12th, there are other things happening too, subplots that are definitely going to get tangled up in the main mess.
For sure. First, we've got to mention Liam Spencer. He's still relentlessly trying to win Hope Logan back from Carter Waltons.
Going that campaign, huh?
Oh, yeah. He's apparently arguing that Carter is basically a waste of her time and not her destiny. So that theme of trying to influence someone else's choices, it's playing out there too, just with Liam trying to sway Hope.
And Liam's timing, trying to get Hope back. It's about to intersect with Thomas being back, right?
Big time. The sources predict that when Thomas and Hope interact next, it's going to be full of conflict on multiple levels.
How so?
Well, Hope is not going to like Thomas coming back and immediately targeting her mom, Brooke, in this whole Ridge drama.
Yeah.
She'll be protective of Brooke.
Makes sense. And for Thomas.
Thomas is not going to like finding out that Hope is now engaged to Carter, especially after she turned down his proposal not that long ago.
Ouch. Yeah, he probably still sees Hope as his endgame. Carter's just in the way.
Exactly. So you've got this messy four-way dynamic potentially brewing there, Liam, Hope, Carter, Thomas, which, might actually serve as a convenient distraction from what's happening with Ridge for some of them.
Adding another layer to the family chaos cake. Bridget Forrester is coming back. Wednesday, September 10th.
Right. And the sources leave it a bit open-ended. Is she back for personal reasons, like, the massive drama involving her mom and Ridge? Or is it professional? Something at Forrester Creations. Maybe even related to the hospital drama with Lion Finn.
Either way, with everything going on with Broken Ridge, it seems unlikely she can just stay out of it.
Highly unlikely. Her return just means another voice, probably another opinion thrown into the mix surrounding Ridge's future. More pressure.
Okay, so the stage is absolutely set. The countdown clock on Brooke telling Taylor is ticking loudly.
Brooke's reached her limit. The critical disclosure feels imminent.
And Thomas isn't just going to sit back and watch his mom potentially lose Ridge again, is he?
No way. He wants that happily ever after for Taylor. The sources hint he's going to keep scheming. And crucially, he might loop Steffi in on exactly what Brooke is planning and just how much Ridge is actually wavering towards Brooke.
Oh boy, Thomas and Steffi working together.
That's the biggest threat to a Ridge and Brooke reunion, isn't it? When those two team up, drawing on all the past, hurt their mom endured, they have enormous leverage over Ridge.
So, yeah, multiple bombs ticking, ready to go off.
Yeah.
Hashtag tag outro, synthesis, and provocative thought.
Oh.
Okay, we have really dug deep into this absolute whirlwind the first 2 weeks of September 2025. We've got Ridge just fragmenting under pressure, breaking promises left and right, and we've got Luna's calculated baby trap closing in on Will.
Yeah.
But when you step back, here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, when you synthesize it all, the theme that just screams out from both storylines is the power and the danger of secrets, and how quickly they get weaponized.
Right. Every private choice, every secret decision. Ridge promising Brooke in Italy, Will having that unprotected encounter.
Instantly becomes ammunition, leverage, for people like Thomas or Brooke herself or definitely Luna. The second a secret exists, it creates a vulnerability someone else is ready to exploit.
So what's the big takeaway here for you listening to all this? With the Ridge story, the core problem isn't just his indecision. It's that conflict you pointed out earlier. Eric telling him, don't be influenced, while Eric himself and everyone else is actively manipulating him.
He's surrounded by it. His fatal flaw is that he can't seem to stand up to any of it. He just gets trapped in this cycle of avoidance and making things worse.
Whereas the Luna and Will story, that's manipulation in maybe its purest form, right?
Yeah.
Opportunistic, calculated.
Totally. Luna's targeting wealth, status. She seems pretty ruthless about the emotional wreckage she'll leave behind for Will, for Elektra, maybe even for Lee and Finn, her own family. It's really a stark look at ambition unchecked.
So the stage is set. Two massive collapses feel inevitable. The critical disclosure is going to drop, whether it's Brooke finally walking up to Taylor's door and lighting the fuse in that Forrester war.
Or Luna hitting send on that picture of the pregnancy test to Will.
Someone's world is about to shatter. The immediate victims, Taylor or Elektra, they're going to suffer terribly. But the provocative thought we want to leave you with, the thing to really chew on, is this. Whose carefully built life, or maybe carefully avoided life, is going to be destroyed more irrevocably, and destroyed first. The waffler, the emotionally paralyzed adult, Ridge. Or the plotter, the strategically ambitious young woman, Luna.
Welcome, learner. You've handed us quite a stack of source material here. Looks like a relationship earthquake is about to hit the Forresters and Spencers.
Yeah, it really does. We're diving deep today, looking at these first 2 weeks of September 2025 for The Bold and the Beautiful. It seems like, well, sheer chaos. High-stakes stuff.
Definitely high stakes. So
Yeah.
our mission basically is to get past just the spoilers, right? We need to analyze the pressure points.
Exactly. We're unpacking the turning points, these secret promises that keep popping up, and the ultimatums that are looming.
And we're trying to figure out the why behind it all. Like, why are these characters acting so extremely?
Especially where manipulation meets, well, what looks like loyalty, but maybe isn't. That clash seems central here.
Okay, let's unpack this. So our sources show two massive storylines really coming to a boil at the same time.
Right.
First, there's a never-ending saga.
Yeah.
Ridge, Brooke, Taylor, and now Thomas Forrester is back, throwing a huge wrench in the works.
He always does, doesn't he? And he's got his own agenda, you can bet on that.
And second, we've got the younger generation drama, this really complicated situation with Will Spencer and Luna Nozawa, that whole baby trap plot.
Yeah, the one we've been tracking, it sounds like it's about to blow up. Layers of secrets there.
There's so many layers.
Precisely. And by focusing on these specific dates, September 3rd to the 12th, we can really map out how all this family pressure, and, let's be honest, deceit, is just setting the stage for huge fights.
Yeah, these aren't small tiffs.
No, not at all. These are like foundation-shaking events. They really challenge everyone's integrity.
That word, integrity, it's key, isn't it? Because we start right off the bat with someone whose integrity is, well, seriously in question. Ridge Forrester. Okay, so the first week of September, the sources say Thomas Forrester is back, and he wastes, like, 0 time getting involved in his dad's messy love life.
Absolutely 0. And the tension actually starts building the day before, on Tuesday. Thomas apparently walks in and catches Ridge and Brooke, together in an embrace, and they jump apart looking really guilty.
The guilty look.
That look is everything. It's the proof Thomas needs. So when he confronts Ridge on Wednesday, he already knows something's up.
Right. He's not just asking. So this showdown with Ridge, Thomas is demanding answers. He wants to know, point blank, is the wedding to Taylor still happening?
And if Ridge tries to dodge or, waffle, which he will,
of course,
Thomas immediately thinks Ridge is flat out lying to him. It's a direct accusation of betrayal. Not just to Taylor, but to Thomas himself.
That's interesting. It's personal for Thomas.
Totally personal. And you have to see Ridge's position here. He's completely trapped, isn't he? Made that secret promise to Brooke back in Italy.
The promise to make things right.
Yeah, that one. But then he owes this emotional loyalty to Thomas and Steffi, who desperately want him with Taylor. So any answer he gives is wrong.
He can't win. And Thomas sees right through any attempt to stall.
Instantly. Which is why Thomas, probably realizing his dad is just going to prevaricate, moves straight to target number 2, Brooke.
Right, and he corners her.
He does. And importantly, Katie Logan is there. It's not private.
A witness. So it's a power play.
Definitely. Thomas lays down the law aggressively. Says his parents are getting remarried and Brooke better stay out of it. It's pure territory marking.
Protecting his mom's supposed win, not about Ridge's happiness at all.
Not really, no. And Brooke's reaction is smart, actually, even under fire. The sources say she gives him a death glare.
I bet she does.
But she avoids a direct lie. She kind of shifts the blame back to Ridge, right? Probably says something like, it's not your call who Ridge marries, it's his. Yeah. Using his indecisiveness against Thomas.
Clever. But inside, she must be freaking out.
Oh, completely. The sources show that as soon as Thomas leaves, she unloads on Katie. She still believes Ridge will keep that Italy promise. Eventually.
But Thomas being back changes everything.
Exactly. She's terrified Thomas will make Ridge delay, just kick the can down the road forever. Which is Ridge's specialty, right?
His classic move, avoidance.
It's rooted in decades of him doing this. He doesn't end things cleanly. He lets them fester until something blows up and forces his hand.
And Thomas is the biggest possible fuse for that explosion.
He knows exactly how to guilt Ridge, how to appeal to that father-son thing. If Thomas pushes the keep the family together for mom angle, Ridge might just freeze, appease Thomas, ignore Brooke.
Wow. Okay, so this stalemate. Ridge waffling, Thomas pushing, Brooke stressing. That leads to the next step.
Yeah, and it comes from Katie. She saw Thomas's intimidation tactics firsthand.
Right, she was the witness.
So she tells Brooke, basically, stop waiting. Ridge has chickened out. That's her diagnosis.
Harsh, but probably accurate.
So Katie, being the strategist in the Logan sisters,
always,
she advises Brooke to just skip Ridge, do the dirty work herself.
Dirty work? That sounds intense.
Yeah, it means going straight to Taylor and telling her everything, destroying the dream directly.
Tell her about the Italy promise. That Ridge promised Brooke they'd be together while Taylor's planning a wedding.
That's the nuclear option Katie's suggesting. Reveal the secret promise that Ridge deliberately kept hidden from Taylor. It's designed to just detonate the engagement.
Man, if she does that.
It says a lot about how messed up this whole triangle is, doesn't it? I mean, connecting the dots, this whole cycle exists because Ridge he won't pick someone and stick with them. Ever.
He keeps everyone hanging on.
Exactly. His constant waffling is why this keeps happening. Katie's just trying to force the issue, make him face what he promised Brooke in Italy.
But it's not just the Logans putting on the pressure, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, Eric Forrester steps in.
Oh, yeah. Grandpa Eric weighs in. He confronts Ridge, gives him this seemingly wise advice. Don't let Thomas or Steffi Forrester influence your decision about your future. Sounds good, right?
Sounds reasonable, yeah.
But then, in the next breath, he starts pushing Ridge towards Brooke, telling him Brooke is the one.
Wait, really? So he tells Ridge not to be influenced while influencing him?
Bingo. It's peak hypocrisy. And the source analysis really highlights it. Don't listen to them. Listen to me, because my opinion is the right one.
Wow. That's something. So Eric's using his patriarch status, just like Thomas is using his son status.
Exactly. It's generational manipulation, just different flavors. Eric uses, moral authority and dad wisdom. Thomas uses emotional blackmail and loyalty guilt.
But the goal is the same. Control Ridge's choice.
Yeah.
Strip his autonomy.
And that's the sad part for Ridge. Everyone says they want him happy, but they really just want their side to win. Eric's input just adds more emotional weight, makes the decision even muddier.
Okay, so the pressure is coming from Brooke's side via Katie and from Eric. How does Taylor react?
Taylor feels the heat, definitely. So on Thursday, she pushes back. Hard. She demands an ASAP wedding date from Ridge.
Trying to lock it down quick.
It's pure strategy. She knows Brooke is a true threat as long as they're just engaged. That ring isn't enough. She needs the marriage certificate to make it official, take Ridge off the market.
It's a defense mechanism. Solidify the win before Ridge flakes out again.
Before he caves to Brooke, or just gets lost in his own indecision, she's trying to nail down the victory Thomas and Steffi helped her get.
So everyone's squeezing Ridge. Then Friday comes, and Thomas talks to Eric.
Yeah, Thomas circles back, tries to gauge Eric's stance, maybe get him on side. But the sources say Eric leaves that chat feeling really skeptical.
Why is skeptical?
Eric's worried. He thinks Thomas and Steffi might actually pull it off, convince Ridge to stay with Taylor.
Which means Ridge would have to break the Italy promise to Brooke.
Exactly. And Eric knows the fallout from that would be massive. He's biased towards Brooke, maybe, or just fears the family implosion.
So Ridge is just completely torn, waffling like crazy. Eric's words are in his head, Taylor's pushing, Thomas is demanding.
And don't forget, he also made promises to Thomas and Steffi. He promised them he wouldn't hurt Taylor again.
Oh, right. So no matter what he does now, he's breaking a major promise to someone he supposedly cares about.
He's set to betray everyone. It's an impossible situation he created for himself.
Which leads us to the big event of the week, Brooke's ultimatum.
Yep, the sources confirm she lays one down. The general idea is Ridge needs to tell Taylor the truth about Italy now.
Or else.
Or else Brooke will do it for him. She'll spill the beans herself.
But does she actually say that to Ridge? Like, tell her, or I will.
That's the subtle part. The sources suggest maybe not that blunt. It's more likely she just applies maximum pressure, lets Ridge know the clock is ticking, makes him fear she'll go to Taylor, without actually making the explicit threat.
So she can maintain some plausible deniability later, frame herself as the victim of his delays.
Exactly. She forces Ridge to be the one to deliver the blow, making him responsible for Taylor's pain while she tries to keep the moral high ground. It's a masterclass in manipulation, really.
The fuse is definitely lit. Wow. Okay, let's switch gears. From this chaos to, well, more chaos with the younger generation. Okay, shifting from the veterans of romantic disaster to the next generation's big scandal. The baby trap plot involving Luna Nozawa and the huge secret she's carrying.
That she's supposed to be dead. Yeah, that's kind of a big one.
Just a bit. And this whole storyline seems driven by Leven Finnegan's suspicion, right?
Totally. Late is sharp. She's a doctor. She observes things. Luna's making these frequent unexplained disappearances, and Lee does not trust her granddaughter's explanations. Doesn't take her at her word, is how the sources put it.
So Lee suspects something's up.
Deeply suspects. The prediction is she'll figure out Luna's scheme pretty soon, maybe even by tailing her. Lee's professional skepticism is overriding any grandmotherly instinct here.
And the backstory is just intense. Luna wants this relationship with her dad, Finn, but Lee is dead set against it.
And not just against it, her reaction is extreme, telling Luna, you can't do this, you're supposed to be dead.
Let's pause on that phrase. You're supposed to be dead. What does that imply Lee did?
It implies something drastic. Maybe Lee faked Luna's death, hid her away, created this incredibly isolated situation to protect her, possibly save her life from some past danger.
So for Luna to just ignore that and dive headfirst into this Spencer drama with a calculated pregnancy trap.
Lee sees it as the ultimate betrayal. A total disregard for the massive risks Lee took to keep her alive or safe or whatever the secret is.
Which makes that later interaction with Taylor so incredibly awkward and layered.
Right. Taylor, knowing none of this supposed to be dead stuff, suggests grief counseling for Lee, for her dead granddaughter.
And Lee refuses. And the sources hint Lee's only regret might be saving Luna's life.
That is a massive emotional bomb right there. For a parent or grandparent figure to regret saving someone's life, it suggests Luna's current actions, this baby trap plan, are so ethically bankrupt, so dangerous, that Lee feels the fallout from her survival is worse than the alternative.
It implies Luna is, like, fundamentally dangerous, and Lee knows it.
That's the chilling implication. The stakes aren't just about who the father is, it's about this colossal, foundational lie Lee told, and maybe Luna's inherent instability. This could bring down the whole Finnegan family.
Okay, so moving into that second week of September 8th,
Yeah.
Luna isn't backing down despite Leah watching her.
Not one bit. The sources are clear. She is very determined to baby trap Will Spencer. It doesn't even matter if she's pregnant yet or not when she starts. The intent is the key thing. Secure a connection to the Spencers via a baby.
Pure manipulation.
Seems like it. And it looks like the plan might be working. She takes a pregnancy test this week.
Yeah.
The sources describe her reaction, not relief, not joy. A smirky little smile.
A smirk. Oh, that says it all.
Doesn't it? It confirms the calculation. The sources basically say, that crazy woman might actually be pregnant with Will's kid, and that smirk is the sign. Plan executed.
Okay, but then there's the twist. The paternity question. We assume it's Will's, right?
Yeah.
Because they were together when she was recovering.
That's the logical assumption. But the sources deliberately raised doubt. Could Remy Price be the father? And is Luna planning to pass the baby off as Will's?
Whoa! Remy Price, if that's true.
Let's think about that. If Remy is the father, this isn't just opportunistic deceit, sleeping with Will and hoping for the best. This is cold, calculated, long-term fraud.
It means she knew the baby wasn't Will's, but targeted him anyway.
Because he's a Spencer.
Precisely. She picks the father with the best dynastic and financial upside. That elevates it from a messy situation to deliberate paternity fraud.
That changes how we see Luna completely. It's not desperation, it's predation almost.
It certainly speaks to her level of determination. If she's capable of that, she'll stop at nothing. And it makes Lee's regret about saving her life make a horrible kind of sense, doesn't it? If Looney knew Luna had these tendencies.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so while Luna is smirking over her pregnancy test, what's happening with Will? Will is apparently spiraling, getting more and more anxious about the mystery woman he slept with. He's clueless about the scale of this disaster. He's expecting more texts from Luna, probably just weird messages.
But instead he gets...
The sources anticipate the big shocker. Luna sends him a photo of the positive pregnancy test.
Oh my God. That text message.
Predicted to scare the pee out of him.
Yeah.
It's the visual proof that his mistake, his secrecy, has exploded into this life-changing reality. Total panic mode.
And the first casualty is likely his relationship with Electra Forrester.
Looks like it. The prediction is Electra will be absolutely horrified, possibly dumps him on the spot.
And her horror isn't just about cheating, right? There's a specific reason.
Yes, and it's critical. It's because Will took her virginity after he'd already had unprotected sex with Luna, this random person he was keeping secret.
So he knowingly put her at risk, medically and emotionally.
Exactly. It's a profound betrayal of trust on multiple levels. He prioritized keeping his secret over her health and well-being right when they were becoming intimate. The timing makes it so much worse.
And his excuse is going to be pathetic, isn't it? The sources mentioned.
My mom told me to keep this secret.
Yeah.
That's not going to fly.
No kidding. It just shows how messed up the parental influence is. He learned secrecy from his parents. Maybe his mom specifically in this case.
It seems like it. And it mirrors the other plot, right? Just like Ridge is pulled by Eric and Brooke and Thomas, Will is letting parental pressure dictate his actions, covering up bad behavior instead of owning it.
Loyalty is a shield for doing terrible things. And it wrecks his own integrity, his relationship.
It's a pattern, repeating down the generations. Will's learning his dad's worst habits, the secrecy, the waffling, but on fast forward.
Okay, so this second week, September 8th to 12th, isn't just Luna and Will imploding. The Ridge and Brooke situation is still hurtling towards disaster, too.
Oh yeah, that pot is definitely still boiling.
Yeah.
And other characters are stirring it, connecting these plots.
Like Liam Spencer. What's he up to?
Predictably. Still trying to win back Hope Logan, the sources say he keeps wooing her, making his case that Carter Walton is wrong for her, a waste of her time, not her destiny.
Oh, Liam. He just never gives up, does he? Even with her engaged to Carter now.
Never. He sees himself as her endgame, and he's going to keep reminding her, conveniently or inconveniently.
And this is where the sources connect back to Thomas, right? The tension between Thomas and Hope.
Exactly. Think about it. Hope has finally carved out some peace, set boundaries with Thomas, moved on with Carter. She is not going to be happy about Thomas coming back and immediately targeting her mom, Brooke, over the Ridge drama.
He's disrupting her hard-won stability.
Right, and from Thomas's perspective, he's already stressed about his mom and Ridge. He has that intense, often unhealthy history with Hope.
So finding out she's actually engaged to Carter now, after she turned down Thomas's own proposal not that long ago.
That's going to sting. Badly. The analysis suggests Thomas will probably see Carter as totally unsuitable, an obstacle. especially since Thomas thought he'd kind of put his own pursuit of Hope on the back burner.
So Hope's engagement becomes another source of conflict, another thing threatening Thomas's sense of control.
Precisely. His emotional state seems tied to getting things his way. Ridge marrying Taylor, Hope being available maybe, and now both are under serious threat. It adds fuel to an already raging fire.
Okay, back to the main event. Ridge, Brooke, Taylor. The clock is ticking down.
It really is. Taylor keeps pushing Ridge for that wedding date, trying to make it real before it all falls apart.
But everyone knows the truth about Italy has to come out. The question is just when and who drops the bomb. How long until Brooke finally snaps?
How long until she's knocking at Taylor's door, as the sources put it, driven by Katie, by her own fear, ready to reveal Ridge's promise. You have Taylor, blissfully unaware, planning a wedding, while Brick is holding this grenade. The tension is palpable.
And Thomas isn't just going to sit back and watch his mom's dreams get crushed.
No way. He's not going to give up on Taylor getting her happily ever after with Ridge. He's loyal to her in his way.
So what does he do?
The speculation is he gets worried. Ridge is waffling. Brooke looks ready to strike. Thomas might decide he needs backup.
Meaning?
Meaning he loops Steffi in, tells her what Brooke's up to, what Ridge is saying, how shaky the whole thing feels.
Bringing in Steffi. That changes the game.
Big time. Thomas and Steffi together. They are a force when it comes to protecting their mom and their family unit. If Brooke plans to confront Taylor, she might find Steffi running interference. Very aggressively.
So a Forrester counterattack might be brewing before Brooke even makes her move.
It's highly possible. And then right into the middle of all this escalating tension.
Let me guess. A surprise return.
You got it. Classic soap opera timing. Bridget Forrester shows up on Wednesday, September 10th.
Bridget, okay. Why is she back? Personal reasons? Professional?
That's the big question, isn't it? Given everything going on, the pregnancy drama with Luna, the stress levels with Ridge Brooke Taylor, the ultimatums flying around, her return feels significant.
She could be back for family reasons, supporting Brooke maybe?
Yeah.
Getting pulled into the Logan versus Forrester fight?
Or she could be back professionally, as a doctor. Maybe Will needs medical attention for stress. Or Luna has pregnancy complications. Bridget often plays that role, the calm medical voice amidst the chaos.
But she's also Brooke's daughter. She has skin in the game personally.
Which makes her arrival tricky. Does she come back for personal reasons and then get pulled into the medical drama, or vice versa? Her timing, landing right around the 10th, suggests she's perfectly positioned to witness or deal with the immediate fallout from Brooke's ultimatum or Luna's reveal.
Imagine if she ends up treating Taylor after Brooke drops the truth bomb, or managing Luna's high-risk secret pregnancy.
It's the perfect way to weave both major stories together, linking the emotional trauma and the potential medical crises. Her return is definitely not just a casual visit. Hashtag outro.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Here's where it gets really interesting looking back at these 2 weeks. We've seen all this influence crashing together, right?
Absolutely. You've got Eric using his father knows best routine, Thomas using guilt like a weapon, Taylor pushing for speed.
And it's all colliding with these secret promises, especially Ridge's Italy promise, and these looming ultimatums. The whole thing is just set to explode no matter who Ridge picks.
Because he's lied. Fundamentally, he's deceived at least one of them, probably both in different ways, with that Italy secret. There's no clean outcome.
So this raises a big question, maybe for you, the learner, to think about. When deceit is just normal in these core relationships, like with Ridge, Brick, Taylor, and with Will and Luna, what's the real cost for the next generation?
Yeah, what price do people like Will and Electra pay? Will's pathetic excuse, "My mom told me to keep this secret." It perfectly shows how that parental modeling just poisons a kid's own integrity. They learn that secrets are okay, that loyalty means lying.
And the pattern just keeps going.
It really does.
So for you listening, maybe the key takeaway here is seeing how family loyalty gets twisted into a tool for manipulation. We saw it with Thomas, even with Eric.
Right. And how those past promises, like one Ridge made in Italy, they don't just disappear, they fester. And they always come back at the worst possible moment to blow up the present.
The past isn't even pet, it's like the active ingredient in today's drama.
Well put. So think about the sheer depth of all these secrets we've talked about. Luna's supposed to be dead. Ridge is supposed to be marrying Taylor. Will is supposed to be loyal to Electra.
It's layer upon layer of deception.
So given that waffling and lying seem to be the default setting for characters like Ridge, what does it actually take to break the cycle? What kind of massive, catastrophic event would finally force real lasting accountability in this world?
That's a heavy question.
It is. And we'll leave you to ponder that messy, messy future.